want to tell you a story about a buyer who did everything right. She saved for years, got pre-approved, found a neighborhood she loved. Her agent was good, her inspector was thorough, and 3 months after she moved in, she got a whopping $30,000 bill that no one warned her about. Not because she was careless, because she was in the excitement of closing, she minimized a flag that should have stopped her cold. And the people around her let her. I hear versions of that story all the time, and where it gets me every time is this. It was preventable, not with luck, with information. A team around you who will tell you the truth. So today I'm going to walk you through 10 red flags that show up in home inspections, the ones buyers minimize, rationalize, or get talked out of caring about in the heat of the moment. What they mean, what they cost, and what I've personally seen them do to families who were not prepared. Because protecting your family does not stop at the mortgage, it runs all the way through closing day and beyond. Quick intro, I'm John Farrell. I've been lending for 25 years. I'm licensed in all 50 states. And warning, I am not a home inspector. I'm not a contractor, but I've worked alongside them constantly. I've watched deals unravel at the inspection table, and I've watched families close on problems they really didn't fully understand. And this list, it's built from those experiences. All right, let's get into it. Red flag number 1, foundation cracks and structural movement. When you walk up to a house, the first thing worth looking at is straight lines. The roof line, the walls, the slope of the floors once you get inside. A house that is shifted really tells you with its body language. If there's horizontal cracks in the block foundation, stair-step cracks in the brick, doors that stick, floors that slope, these are the house telling you something is moved. Hairline vertical cracks, often normal settling. Horizontal or stair-step patterns, that's a different conversation. A structural engineer should be your next call, not a handyman offering a quick patch. And if the seller refuses to allow structural engineers in, that refusal, it's an answer. Quick story, a buyer had an offer accepted on a home with visible stair-step cracks. The seller said it was cosmetic. The buyer pushed for a structural engineer. The seller said no. Buyer walked. The home relisted 3 weeks later at a $40,000 reduction. Red flag number 2, the roof is not a repair conversation, it's an insurance conversation. Right now, insurance companies are pulling coverage on homes with aging roofs. I've seen so many buyers close on a home, lock in their insurance at closing, and receive a cancellation letter 60 days later. When that happens, your lender gets notified, and if you cannot get reinsured, your mortgage is in technical default. If the seller will not credit you or replace it before closing, factor every dollar of that into your offer, or it's your decision to walk. Red flag number 3, water intrusion and active moisture. Water always follows a path. If it is getting in somewhere visible, it's going somewhere invisible. Damp basements, staining along foundation walls, soft spots in the flooring, pooling near the foundation after rain. These are symptoms, not the problem itself. The best inspectors carry thermal imaging that detects moisture behind walls before it's visible to the naked eye. If your inspector finds active water, intrusion, and the seller has no repair history, slow down. Water leads to rot, rot leads to mold, and mold, trust me, it's a conversation nobody wants after 6 months of moving in. Red flag number 4, mold or persistent musty odors. Ugh, I don't like musty odors. A strong musty smell is not a cleaning issue. It's a moisture problem with a biological consequence. Mold is one of the few items on the list where even the seller's willingness to fix it does not fully resolve my concern. Here's why. You cannot always verify remediation was done correctly. If there is visible mold covering a significant area, that's a conversation about whether this is maybe the right home and not just who pays the fix. Red flag number 5, electrical hazards. Big one. Old fuse boxes, knob and tube wiring, aluminum wiring, DIY electrical splices. These are fire hazards first, insurance problems second. Many carriers will not write a policy on a home with active knob and tube wiring, and you cannot properly insulate walls that contain it. Any updated panel runs, I don't know, $3,000 to $10,000. A full rewire in an older home, that's significantly more. The goal, it's not panic, it's clarity. Know what you're carrying before you close. Red flag 6, plumbing and undergrounding sewer lines. Visible plumbing issues are worth noting, but the ones buyers miss, it's underground. A sewer line scope, a camera run from the house to the street can reveal root intrusion, collapsed sections, or deteriorating clay pipe that's invisible from inside. If there are any large trees anywhere around the property, this scope is not optional. This scope, it's not optional. I've seen buyers skip it and inherit $20,000, $40,000 surprise on day 61. Red flag number 7, HVAC age and condition. An aging furnace or AC is not always a deal breaker, but it is always a budget conversation. So you want to ask for the service records. A system serviced every year has a very different runway than one that's been ignored. The furnace runs, I don't know, 8 to 12,000. Central air is similar. Home warranties are an option, but read the exclusions carefully. Some warranties protect the company more than the homeowner, and truthfully, I am not a fan of home warranties. I think they're a waste of money. Red flag number 8, poor drainage and grading. This is easy to miss on a sunny showing day. The slope of the land should direct water away from the foundation. You get hydrostatic pressure, basement moisture, settlement over time. Ask to see the listing photos after rain. Ask about drainage history. If the inspector flags grading or downspout extensions, do not file that away as a minor. Red flag number 9, unpermitted work and cover-ups. Fresh paint over a stain, finished basement that blocks every foundation wall from view, clutter in front of access panels, or even a seller who says, don't turn that on. These are all reasons to slow down, ask hard questions. Unpermitted work affects your financing, your insurance, your renovation options, and your resale. And red flag number 10, environmental issues. Radon mitigation, 2,000 to 3,000, straightforward. Asbestos tile in an undisturbed basement may be manageable. And one more note, and I've been seeing this a lot, if the home has solar panels, find out how they were financed. A lease or a power purchase agreement means you're not just buying a home, you're inheriting a financial contract with a third party on your roof. Read every line before you sign anything. Here's something no home inspector video will tell you, the financing dimension of everything you just heard. Appraisal, active roof damage, foundation issues, mold. That home may not appraise at purchase price. And if the home is uninsurable, if the policy gets canceled after closing, you have a mortgage compliance problem you didn't expect. A motivated seller will often credit repairs at closing, but it has to be structured correctly on your closing disclosure. That is where having the right mortgage team matters. Quick reality check, and I'm talking about budget. If you're already at the top of your range and the home inspection reveals $50,000 in deferred maintenance, that is a family financial planning problem. I'd rather have that conversation before you close than after the wire clears. Rule number 1, never waive your inspection to win a bidding war. You're not saving money, you're trading certainty for urgency. Those problems don't just disappear because you did not look for them. They just became yours, and that's not fun. Rule number 2, attend in person, walk in with your inspector. The report is a document. The walkthrough is an education. Be there, ask questions, listen. Rule number 3, know the difference between a deal breaker and negotiation. $3,000 radon system, it's a negotiation. Active termites and structural framing could be a deal breaker, needs more questions answered. The best thing you can do is know which category you're in. Have people around you who will say it plainly. Buying a home is one of the most meaningful things a family does. It's not just a financial transaction, it's where your kids grow up, where you come home after a long day, where you build the life you've always been working toward. I grew up watching financial stress do real damage inside a home. This is why I don't take this lightly, and it's why I built my business around being the person who tells the truth, even when it's uncomfortable to hear in the moment, because the regret that comes from a $40,000 surprise after closing is so much heavier than the discomfort of walking away from a house you loved. One of those you recover from quickly, the other one follows you for years. The goal is not to find the perfect house. The goal is to know exactly what you're buying and to make sure that decision protects your family long after the excitement of closing day fades.